Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be on this bridal inspired makeup. This is totally the kind of makeup that I would do if I was getting married this year. It's really soft, very classic. You know, you look like your best self. Nothing too crazy or too intense. I just feel like this sort of glam is so timeless. You're gonna look back at your photos or your videos, you know, 10 years from now, 20 years from now, and you're not gonna be like, oh my god, why did I do my brows like that, or why did I wear that color eyeshadow? You know what I mean? So if you want to see how I got this makeup look, then keep watching. You know what, guys, doing this video gives me like all the feels. Like, I feel like, you know, a few years ago I wouldn't have really been able to picture my wedding day. Like, you know, I always knew I wanted to get married and stuff, but just where I was at in life, and a few years later, like, I can actually picture like what I would want for my wedding, like how I'd want to do my makeup, how I'd want to do my hair. So this video is like really exciting for me. Definitely for the week of my wedding, I'd be drinking tons of water. I drink a lot of water already, but I would take it up a notch. Probably like 4 days or so before the wedding, I wouldn't drink anything but water. So no wine, no alcohol, just because sometimes that dries out your skin. That's gonna be hard because, like, you know, the days leading up to the wedding are so stressful. You just need like a glass of wine to help you power through. But I would probably swear off it for like 4 days before. Don't pop any pimples. Leave anything you have alone. I would get a facial probably a week before the wedding. That way my skin has a week to adjust and settle down. If I get extractions done, you know, they're not like red and crazy inflamed. That's what I would do. Okay, so I typically always come on camera with my brows already done, but I wanted to do like a full in-depth. I was even gonna like throw on a little mask, but then the video would just be like so long. So I'm gonna take my Anastasia Dip Brow. This is in medium brown. I would just fill in my brows the way I normally would. I try to just keep them like as natural as possible, not too full and not too thin. I like to go for a very like timeless, classic sort of bridal makeup. That way, you know, in 20 years or 10 years, whenever you look back at your wedding photos, you're not like, oh my god, why did I do that? Like, sometimes I look back at my old pictures with like the really thin eyebrows and I'm like, girl, why did I ever think that was cute? And now, because I have oily skin, I am going to set that dip brow with a powder. I'm going to take this one. This is an ebony, but I'm going to take the lighter one, and I'm going to really lightly just kind of draw in some strokes, especially around the tail, because that's where I have the least amount of brow hairs and where product can start to slip and slide easily. And I'm going to use my tried and true, I'm going to use soap to set them. I'm not going to make them as like bushy and crazy as I normally do, but I do want them to stay in place. So I'm going to go more on a diagonal instead of going straight up. That way they're not sticking out too much. Now that the brows are done, I'm going to move on to eyeshadow, and I'm going to use my Sephora concealer to prime the lid. So for this look, I'm going to go into my Morphe 35O palette. I just feel like this palette has a lot of nice and neutral colors, a lot of browns that I would want to work with for my wedding day. So I'm going to take this brown right here. It's a pretty neutral brown. And I didn't set my lids after I put that concealer on. I'm just going straight in with the eyeshadow. And I'm just going to use this as a transition shade. I'm going to switch to a smaller little crease brush, and I'm going to pick up this darker brown down here. It's also a neutral brown. Oh, you can't even see it right here. Going to focus this in the outer corner of the eye and start to bring it into the crease as well. I'm going to switch to an even smaller crease brush. I know it looks dirty. I wiped off most of it. I didn't have time to clean my brushes. And I'm going to take that same dark brown again, that one I was using, and now I'm going to work on defining the crease. So this little brush is perfect for that. And when I'm defining this crease, I want to stop pretty much where my pupil begins. I don't want to bring it in all the way into the inner corner. I want to keep this space kind of open and light so you can look sort of doe-eyed, you know what I mean? Innocent. And now I'm going to take a dark brown. I'm going to take this dark brown right here, and I'm going to just put that in the outer corner of the eye. Just switching back to that previous brush. Really light circular motions going over the edges of everything. Now I'm just going to take some concealer. This is the Maybelline Master Camo. And I'm going to take this lightest yellow and I'm going to clean up the lid. You don't have to do this, but for me, I just feel like it makes the eyeshadow look so much neater and it really helps define the crease. Especially if you don't have big lids, then this really helps define the eyes, make them have a lot more dimension, you know what I mean? I always envy people with the super nice, like deep sunken lids. Deep set eyes, that's what it's called, deep set eyes. You know, it just looks so pretty. Like any eyeshadow, they can literally use one eyeshadow and it would look amazing. And before I put on the lid shade, I'm going to take my blending brush and just soften this concealer line. You can put on your lid shade and then try to blend the two shades together, but I've done both methods and I find that the eyeshadow blends the most seamlessly when you first blend in the concealer, just so that it's like flat and it's not like raised concealer, because that's when, you know, like your lid shade's gonna really stick to that concealer and it might not be able to move around and blend as easily. So for the lid shade, I'm gonna go into my Smashbox Full Exposure palette and I'm gonna just use the shimmers. I'll probably use, we'll see, I'm gonna start with this lightest one. This is honestly my favorite shimmer that I own. It's really like iridescent and it doesn't have like a strong gold undertone. It really catches the light so well. And it's a very neutral shimmer, so it's not too like yellow gold or anything. It's very classic. I'm just gonna go into the darker shimmer beside it and I'm going to place that over top of the shimmer, but along the middle of my eye, just so that there's like a nice ombre effect. It's very subtle, but it makes a difference. Take a little more of that darkish brown I was using and just go over everything. So for this look, I'm not going to do a black winged liner. I'm going to do a brown one, but I don't have a brown liner, so I'm going to use my DIPBROW. And I just like the brown wing more, especially for like photographs. It gives your eye that lifted appearance, but it doesn't look too harsh. I hope you guys can see it. I can see it. I don't know if you guys will be able to see it, but it's on there. I'm just going to go back to that Morphe palette and I'm going to take this light shimmery shade right here. Also going to take the bone shade in the palette. Any white or ivory shade will do to highlight the brow bone. For lashes, I'm going to go with a pair like this. They're very soft. They don't have a like thick band or anything. I just don't like to do a super intense lash, especially if I don't have like a dark smoky eye or something going on. And for this look, I want to be able to like, you know, see the shimmer on my lid, like have the light reflect off of it, all that good stuff. And that's not going to happen if I have really intense lashes on. Lashes are done. I'm going to finish off the rest of my face. And if I were to be getting married like now, I'm obviously going to use my current faves. So I'm going to use my Rimmel Stay Matte. This is just going to help really keep me matte all day because once again I have oily skin. I'm also going to tap in a little bit of the Benefit Professional. I'm just going to tap this on right on the sides of the nose. I don't have large pores, but you know, sometimes you can see them. Especially if you have oily skin, you will have a little bit more pores, more visible pores. When you're patting like a pore minimizing primers on, try to avoid this area right up against the nostril. That area normally has a little bit more dry skin and like a little bit more texture. So if you put that pore minimizing primer over top of it, that it can make your face look really cakey in that area. I had a really hard time picking like what foundation I would wear, but I think I would go with my NARS Sheer Glow mixed in with my Smashbox Studio Skin, because obviously this is my summer shade, this is my winter shade. Obviously you want to get like your perfect skin tone to your neck, because most likely your neck and your chest is going to be showing. So match it to the body. Yeah, I think that's close enough. I'm wearing a shirt, guys. It's like a white tube top. Yeah, the NARS Sheer Glow, I absolutely love that foundation. And same with the Smashbox. I think that they last all day on my skin. They make my skin look as flawless as possible. They photograph beautifully. So that is why I chose to mix them, so I can kind of get the best of both worlds. Okay, I still have a lot on my hand, so I'm going to take it, start to bring it down the neck. Make sure you get the ear and even like the side of the neck right here. And I'm also going to take it down onto the chest area, at least in this like front zone, so that when you take a picture from here, 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 it's all one color. I would definitely pump out a little bit extra foundation that day so that you can get, you know, some of your chest and your neck. For concealer, I'm going to use my NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer. This is in ginger, so it's not very light, but it's honestly my favorite concealer. I just love how creamy it is and how it makes my skin look. It makes my under eyes look so smooth and like just perfect. So that's what I'm going to use. And you can use it to conceal any blemishes, especially since it's not too much lighter than my foundation. It's perfect for a spot concealer. And to brighten it up, I'm taking the Sephora one. This is in Custard. I'm just going to do 2 lines on each side. Highlight the chin, the forehead. I want the center of the face to be really bright. If you want, you can add just a little bit here. Give that area a lift. I'm just going to set my under eyes the way I normally would. This is the Too Faced powder, and it does have flashback if you bake with it, but if you use it like, you know, a normal amount and really work it into the skin, then it's fine. I'm not really into baking, and I haven't done it enough to say that, you know, confidently I would do it for my wedding day. It's one of those things where I have to try a different setting powder and bake, and then like, you know, do flash photography and see how it looks. But as of now, I wouldn't bake. For contour, I'm going to do cream contour and set it in place with a bronzer just so that it doesn't move all day. Use my Fenty Beauty Matchsticks. This is in Mocha. Get underneath the jaw. If you want, you can do these 2 little lines here. I don't even think I did them straight. It's okay, we'll blend it in. Just going to blend everything out with a flat top kabuki brush. This video is going to be so long. I'm sorry, guys. If you want to clean up that contour, just take your beauty blender and run it right along the edge. With whatever concealer or powders left over, it'll just clean it up for you. And now I'm just going to take a little bit of my Anastasia bronzer. This is in Saddle. This stuff is really pigmented, so I'm taking it on a very small fluffy brush, and I'm going to hit it just right in the hollows of my cheeks. Really close to my ear. I know it looks harsh, I'm going to blend it out. I just wanted to disperse the product and then start to blend it out. Just to give the cheekbone a little bit more depth. Add a little bit to the temples and the forehead. I don't want to be too like sculpted for my wedding day. I know that sounds ridiculous, but I kind of want to keep it like a nice soft bone structure. I want to obviously be, you know, defined. I don't want to look like I have a round face, but sometimes, like, you know, like youthful faces are always more plump and not so chiseled. So I don't know, I feel like in a few years I might look back and like that I didn't do such a harsh contour for my wedding day. For blush, I'm going to take a very neutral soft pink blush. This is Tarte Party. I love how I described it as if you guys have never seen me use it. A little bit on the chin. For highlight today, I'm using my Custom Enhanced Cover FX drops, and I'm just going to take some out on my hand, grab it on my beauty blender, this onto the skin. It gives a very nice natural sheen to the skin. It's not sparkly or glittery or anything, and that's kind of what I would want to go for my wedding day. I would definitely recommend using a liquid illuminator for your wedding day. It just looks the most natural. It's going to photograph beautifully. It's going to wear beautifully throughout the day. And what I love about this Custom Enhancer drops is that it sets. So, you know, at first it's going to be pliable and you'll be able to move it around, but once it sets, it's stuck there. It's staying there. It's dry to the touch, so it's not going to feel like it's like sticky or slippery on your face. I know, especially if you have oily skin, you wouldn't like that. All right, we're in the home stretch, folks. We're in the home stretch. This is such a long video. I don't even know how long I'm going to have to be editing. I'm going to be like pulling my hair out. Just taking a small little dome brush, and I'm going to take that first brown that we used. I'm not bringing it all the way into the inner corner though. I'm keeping it mainly on the outer corner and bringing it into about halfway. Just switching to a tiny little defining brush, and I'm going to take that darker brown that we used right here, and I'm going to press this onto the lower lash line just as I would an eyeliner. And once again, I'm keeping this on the outer corner. Now, time for mascara. Definitely get a waterproof mascara because it's an emotional day. You'll probably cry. I know I'm definitely going to cry like 1,000 times, but I don't have a waterproof mascara. So I'm just going to take my usual L'Oreal Telescopic, and I'm just going to hit the lower and upper lashes. So last step is lips, and I'm going to go in with MAC Whirl. I'm going to do a very soft, like a rosy nude sort of lip. I wouldn't do a pale nude because it can really wash out your lips, especially in flash photography. Your lips will just disappear. So even though I'm doing a nude, I'm going to make sure to line them very well with a darker lip pencil. I'm also going to fill in my lips with this color. So this is the Laritzi Nudes liquid lipstick. This is honestly my favorite liquid lip that I own. I love the color, I love the formula. It doesn't like settle into the fine lines on my lips, and it feels really light. It doesn't feel like a thick layer of something on my lips, you know what I mean? And then I'm gonna take a shimmery lip gloss. This is Bobbi Brown High Shimmer Lip Gloss in Bare Sparkle. This is really pretty. It's so like iridescent in the sunlight, you're just gonna die. I'm just gonna put that right in the center of the lips. And that is the completed look. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Any of you that are watching that are getting married this year, congratulations. I'm so excited for all of you. My time will be coming soon, I hope. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video.